That's a big one. Ooh, not. That's why you throw a red crankbait. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on the Great Lake Chickamauga, land of giants here in Tennessee. We're gonna go out here and hopefully have some fun. Hopefully they'll be biting for us. I don't know if you guys can really tell, the water's a little muddy here in the creek. We've had 2 days of rain and it finally cleared up this morning about an hour and a half ago. So hopefully the fish will be biting. Hopefully the water's not too murky because I'd like to catch them on jerkbait. But if not, we'll find them somewhere on the trap, hopefully. But it's winter time. You know, that's when the big ones bite here on Chickamauga. So let's go out here and have a little bit of fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy it and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. He just swiped at it. Chunky fish. He just swiped at it. Had him on the outside of the mouth there for a second. It's pretty tough. That rain's dirtied up the water pretty good, so I've had to. The jerkbait bite. It's not very good from what I've experienced. And I haven't been on this lake in a while either, so there we go. A chunky 2-pounder on the old frit side. That's a big one. That is a big one. Well, he ain't that big, but he's fighting good. It's like a clone of the last fish I just caught. He just fought really good. Another solid chunky 2-pounder. That's why you throw a red crankbait, boys and girls. Another chunky one. Yep, another chunky one. I forgot to click the cord. I got like a 3-pounder on it. He's barely hooked. See if I can get another hook in him. Oh no. Barely hooked. I mean, barely hooked. I might be over 3 actually, boys. And that's why you throw a red crankbait. God almighty.
Hey, what happened?
I about went for a swim. I didn't even see the rock or anything. tonight. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to grab this one. How about I get my net out? Here we go, guys. That's close to 5. Just a hair over 4. So, I mean, that's a freaking good one. Real good. Another one barely hooked. It's over 3. And he got a lamprey on him. Lampreys are nasty. Another one over 3, boys. Oh, Freddie put it on them today. And then they got a lamprey. Nasty things. See, that one would be a little bit healthier if they didn't have that lamprey on it. Another 3-pounder. He's long and skinny. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of cranking action here on Chickamauga. I'm going to give you guys a quick little breakdown on the crankbaits that I used and why I chose them. But first we're going to get into the type of rod, line, and reel that I was using in this video for these particular crankbaits. Both these rods are 7-foot, medium, moderate actions. Got that parabolic bend for cranking. And the reason you want that parabolic bend is because, one, you're cranking, it's a little bit colder and everything, so you want a little bit of delay in the rod, and 2, it loads up the entirety of the rod. It loads up all the way to almost the handle of the rod, which helps you from losing those fish on these treble hooks. Secondly is the reel. I stay in the 6-gear ratio range when I crank these smaller crankbaits. Now once I get into those larger crankbaits, ones that run 14, 15 plus feet, I will go to a 5-gear ratio reel. But for the most part, a 6-gear ratio reel. This one right here is a 6-4 to 1, or I'm sorry, a 6-3 to 1. My other one is a 6-4 to 1. I've always used a 6-gear ratio reel when I'm cranking these small body crankbaits, and I feel like it's a good middle ground for me to be able to slow roll it, and if I wanted to burn it, I could burn it and not kill myself. And for my line, I use 2 different size lines when I crank. I use a 10-pound and a 12-pound. And typically I do not crank with fluorocarbon, believe it or not. Some people live and die by fluorocarbon on cranking. I actually like a copolymer or a straight up monofilament line. I feel like it's a little bit more give, and it's a little bit more abrasion resistance. It's also a little bit thicker line sometimes. So 12-pound for when I know I'm going to be cranking that real nasty rock and got a lot of woody on it, and 10-pound for the most part is whenever I need to get a little bit deeper. And as for the crankbait, you've all heard me say it several times. For the most part, I think I caught all but 1 or 2 of them on a frit side. This is the frit side 7. It's in that red crawl pattern. Red crankbaits, man, I don't know what it is, but once the water gets a little bit of color, it is the deal, and I promise you that. And for my other crankbait was actually, I went a little bit deeper because some of the areas that I was cranking was just a little bit out of the range for that frit side 7, so I went to a DT10, the good old demon color, the tried and true demon color. Both these crankbaits have a lot of miles on them. I've caught a lot of fish on these crankbaits. These two crankbaits in particular too, I've had them for a while. I'm surprisingly I haven't lost them. I throw this thing in some nasty areas and I've been able to keep them. The main reason I threw the DT10, like I said, was to get a little bit deeper, but some of those places I was cranking, it was like a small bluff face on it, and it would go down to about 8 to 10 foot, just out of range for that Fritz side 7. So I'd go to that 10, and once you were able to make that contact with the bottom down there, you'd get a bite. But those are the two crankbaits that done all the work in today's video. The DT10 in Demon and the Fritz side 7 in the red crawl pattern. It's one of my favorite techniques to do is crank. You guys have probably seen several videos on me cranking out there. It's just a very good technique to have, especially during the winter time when the water gets dirty. We didn't catch no real giants today, but we had a solid day. Given the conditions, because it was a bluebird sky, hardly any wind, and dirty water. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out all my social media links down below. And until next time, catch 'em big.